matter number 15. I pulled this item just only for the way that we fund this project, or not project, but what is in here, the homeless reunification program. But something that you were really highlighting is it's separate from what our police department is doing. This is more towards getting families together at the navigation center. In my notes, I wrote down that we spent around $2 million at the navigation center, and we are expanding restrooms, cafeteria area, showering area. So really great things going on there. I support this. The only thing that I didn't like was the way we're funding it, because you stated that you wanted to use, or you wanted to take the $5,000 that was for the local initiative navigation center, which was council discretionary funds, and you're wanting to use the city cannabis community benefit program funding. And so I would like to see this come out of the council's discretionary funding like we did in the past.
Yeah, the only reason why part of it I would like to come from the cannabis, because we haven't utilized all those funds, and this wouldn't affect our general fund because that's a separate fund that has money there versus taking it from the general fund. So that was the reasoning for two different.
As far as the process in using the cannabis community benefit program funding, my belief is that it's supposed to go through the cannabis committee, and then the recommendation is supposed to come from the cannabis committee on how we're going to spend the cannabis committee's funds to the council, and then the council makes that decision. Is that correct, City Manager?
Yeah, in the program, there's for nonprofits, we have a nonprofit program with it for the cannabis community benefit program. We also have a small business program as well.
Yeah, so I want to fund it, but I think that it would be best to come from the council's discretionary funding. That's my opinion on it. Do you have comments?
No, I share those concerns. You know, I know that we did all vote unanimously to give to the Porterville Rescue Mission. If they decide to give that money back, that's a separate issue for me. I do think this should come out of the general fund, just like the rescue mission did, just separate those so it's clear, not connected. And I think that the Cannabis Community Benefit Fund, it actually, based on what you're saying and also the process, you would be taking away from other funding that would be able to go to 501c3s and the businesses. Yes. So I think both of them should come out as $5,000 each one from the general fund, much like the one we just discussed. Same thing. And I vote for that if it actually is coming out in that simple way. Let's leave the Porterville Rescue Mission out of it, and let's leave the cannabis community benefit out of it, and just take it out of our discretionary funds. And I vote for that.
Okay.
I'd make a motion that we do it that way.
Okay. There's a motion on the table. Mr. Beltran, you wanted to make a comment?
I'll say. Well, no, I was just going to say I'm fine with that. I just thought this is why when we had moved the whole remainder of the fund from the cannabis to the reunification, I wanted to leave some in there for potential items that something like this. But if this comes from the discretionary fund, I appreciate that ability.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say I support this, and I with me and Mr. Beltran on this link program and this Kings View homeless reunification, we see a lot of positiveness, and I think, and I do support that it's coming out of the discretionary, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was not aware of the inner mechanics of the cannabis funding and so on and so forth. So with clarity on that, I was going to vote on it anyway, but I was going to seek clarification. But since you clarified that for me, I appreciate that, Mr. Mayor. And I support Mr. Beltran on this item right here. So with that,
okay,
I'll motion. I'll put that second motion on that.
Okay.
I think that's the first motion, right?
You did the first one.
I'm
the
okay,
second.
so there's the second. We have a first and a second. No other comments?
No.
We'll call for the vote. And so the motion is to go from council's discretionary spending.
Correct.
Yeah, and we'll bring the item back and have a resolution for that.
Okay.
Requires it.
Okay, passes 4-0. Councilman Beltran, thank you for what you do on that committee. It's a lot of work, so
Raymond.
right back at you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to 12.